Reporting from the Rolling Green Project on Desert Foods Eating from the Land. Most people would not think the desert is a very good place to grow a garden, and it would be true for the most part. However, many of the plants found naturally in the desert are actually edible. The key is knowing not only which plants are safe for consumption, but also when to harvest them and how they are prepared. Right here in the yard, we have 4 types of plants that are edible and medicinal. The aloe vera plant is well known for its healing properties for burns, cuts, and skin abrasions. It also is used for making a juice that is said to heal many internal ailments, and may even make your skin look more youthful. The prickly pear cactus is well known for its use in jellies and jams. It is also packed full of nutrients, has a low glycemic impact on the body's blood sugar, and has been used by desert natives as food and medicine for thousands of years. The Palo Verde trees, if harvested while the pods are still green and tender, can be used like green beans or even eaten raw right off the tree. But the most surprising and delicious food in the yard came from the mesquite trees. Yes, mesquite. While it's very well known for giving barbecue a great smoked flavor, a little known native secret is the delicious flour that can be made from the seed pods once they mature and are dried, and mesquite molasses is made from the ripened pods before they are dried. Teas and other beverages are made from steeping them as well. Mesquite has a naturally sweet flavor, very high in protein and fiber, and can be substituted for up to half of the flour used in any baking recipe. It also has a low glycemic impact, making it a good substitute for diabetics and people on a high-protein, low-carb regimen. Milling the pods is best done in a stone grinding mill facility, as the pods are very hard and not easily processed. However, if you have a yard full of the mesquite pods and a good food processor, you can make a medium to coarse grain flour similar to a cornmeal consistency that is great for baking with. We have found it is especially good in recipes that contain cocoa and dark chocolate. I started by washing the pods in our mineral-rich spring water, which has also fed the trees their entire life. I laid them on a table and spread them out in the sun to dry. After carefully going through them and putting them in a bag, I took them into the house to be processed. I use a food processor, but would definitely recommend getting it milled if you have more than 1 5-gallon bucket of pods. There are several common types of mesquite trees in the desert, but the honey mesquite, which is the majority of the kind on the yard here, is the sweetest and best for getting a rich and delicious flavor. You can pull the pod off the tree and taste it to see if it's a good flavor to harvest. The mesquite powder or flour can be used raw or in baking. Adding it to smoothies will enhance the other flavors, as well as adding a nutty sweet flavor to the drink. It can also be used to bread chicken and fish sprinkled on red meats, and is most delicious when baked into brownies or cookies by substituting at least a half cup of the other flour in the mix for the mesquite flour. I have a cocoa mesquite cookie that I like to make that is sugar-free and much lower in carbs. I use the cocoa and mesquite flour in place of the other flour in a basic cookie dough recipe, and a sugar substitute baked at 350 degrees for about 12 minutes. They are crumbly and delicious. Rick and I have been learning many interesting things about living and surviving in the desert. While I would definitely put air conditioning as number 1 on the survival list, realizing just how much the desert land has to offer for medicine, nourishment, and even shelter has been a true eye-opener. So the Rolling Green Project wants to ask you to take a look into your environment and see what natural foods are right in your own yard that you may be missing out on. This is Samantha Phenix with the Rolling Green Project for a New Light Video Magazine.